Oh, wait, stop. Oh. Welcome to Oz Talk! This is the show we've been waiting for, I feel like, our whole lives, certainly for 20 years, Tori.
My heart.
I know.
My heart.
Yes. Because, I can't believe you saw the Wicked movie.
Oh my God, I can't believe you saw the Wicked movie. And you guys, this was the wildest thing because Ryan drove all the way from where he lives in Wisconsin to me. And what was it, 14 hours?
Yeah, exactly. I spent a night on the road, so it was 2 days there, 2 days back. And I would have spent an eternity on the road. I would have done the Hadestown.
Was it worth it?
Yes, I would have done the Hadestown walk in order to see this movie when we saw it last week on October 2nd in New York City. And it was so fantastic. We were very fortunate, and we do not take this for granted. We know how lucky we are. We know how special this is and how rare it was. We were two of only about 25 people invited to attend this early exclusive screening in New York. And it was, more than we could imagine as an overall experience, but also just getting to see the movie before we had anticipated it.
Yeah, it was truly one of those pinch me, I'm dreaming, I can't believe this is happening. And we didn't have a lot of run up. We found out on Sunday that this screening was happening on a Wednesday. And we were like, hold on to your butts. Like, it was just like, from one minute to the next, here we go, we're doing this. And of course, we were told at the time, you got to keep it on the down low until we tell you. And today was the day we were allowed to share with you guys. Now, before we start, and I know I've been getting lots of questions on TikTok about specifics about the movie, like cameos and things like that. We cannot talk any spoiler talk today. We are not going to talk any spoilers in this reaction video or on any of our private social media. So please don't ask, because we literally cannot. Nor would we wish to for those who want to be surprised.
Exactly. And I'm shaking so much because as you were talking, thank you for that. You gave me the time to update your title. It was still appearing as Ryan and Tori Oz Historians, which we set because we are about to play a clip of our initial reaction that we recorded right after we saw the movie. So we're going to share that first before we talk more about it. But before we show that video, yes, our spoiler-free video and the rest of it we're going to say, let's show some pictures about that day leading up to it. So we took the train. Your sister Alex joined us, who was the
She's my plus one.
And tell why it was so special for you to have her as a plus one.
So my sister actually took me to Wicked the musical the very first time I saw it. She was a senior she was a freshman in college, and I was a senior in high school. And she used her new student badge to buy discount tickets. And we were sitting in the second to last row of the Gershwin Theater. And it was the most magical day. And we bonded so much over that experience. And so it felt very full circle to bring my best friend to see Wicked for the first time. And I got to be with my other best friend. And it was just like the best.
I know. I want to start calling you my Oz wife. There's a work wife. You're my Oz wife. Instead of being your guzband, I want to be your Oz husband. Okay?
Yes, I accept.
Thank you. That was our live proposal. She accepted. We are now Oz married, whatever that means. I just have to give
down by the way. Next going to be like, how do I get in on this?
Yeah, right. I have to give a quick shout out. Charlie Walters. Hello. Thanks for watching. It's a thrill to see you. He is an amazing publicist who was key in inviting me to Legends of Oz: Dorothy's Return at that premiere, and so generous at the time, and does amazing work with Olympians, the rest of it. So cool. Thanks for watching Oz Talk. And we know you're looking forward to seeing Wicked today, and lots of really great. We're going to get to lots of the comments and stuff, but why don't we go ahead first and look at what it was like leading up to. Here we are on the street. We posed one pink goes good with green look before we walked into the theater, and as we walked in, it was a very small, intimate space at the Ludlow Soho House screening room. They had pink and green champagne, little collectible boxes for us that were popcorn boxes with Glinda and Elphaba and the single some part of the solo movie posters, and pink and green macaroons that were so good. And they were all you could eat. I mean, there were so many. How many did you have, Tori?
Well, my sister was double fisting, and then at the end of the night, she emptied one of the popcorn buckets. She's like, we got to take these.
I mean, they were all left over. I should have taken more. I can't believe I showed restraint in the face of free macaroons, right? This was a view of you see the guys, Quincy and Kevin from Scentmen Pod were there, and some other really fantastic people. We met. Everybody was in such a good mood. Afterward, we all stayed for like a half hour talking about the film. And I don't know if I let anyone else get a word in edgewise. I know I have a habit of interrupting you to begin with. I think I interrupted everyone in the room. I just couldn't stop talking. I had so much to say, and I was so excited that I kind of lost some decorum in the moment, but it was great.
It was amazing. And actually, my sister gave some amazing talking points. And I watched everyone lean in while she was talking. And I was like, this is the most magical moment. Like, Nick was, of course, the first person to find out that I was going. And I looked at him and he was like, you got to take your sister.
Yes, of course, of course. There was a Universal Pictures provided a photographer. That was a wand very similar to the actual wand used in the film that you're holding there, having your Glindified moment. You look absolutely gorgeous. Tell us what you're wearing.
I am wearing the Forever 21 jersey, the Glinda jersey, with some pink tights and some irregular choice shoes. And on the West Coast, they had another screening, and our dear friend Tiffany Sutton was there. She was wearing
Follow the Yellow Brick Girl.
Follow the Yellow Brick Girl, and she was wearing the Elphaba equivalent so that we could match across the coasts. And they had, ironically, and this was not planned, but they had the broom at their screening.
Yes, and it's the greatest picture. I wish I could show that now, but check out all of our socials. It's on mine, it's on Tori's, it's on Follow the Yellow Brick Girl on Instagram and TikTok. She's you need to be following her because she's just the loveliest friend, and we couldn't love her more. Here's some more photos. What I love about the one on the right is, as your Oz historian mentor, I feel like I'm having a Madame Morrible moment. I'm teaching you how to use the wand.
Honestly, if you had told me when we first met in person over a decade ago that we would be here today, I would have called you a liar, because
I know. Well,
when I walked up to your table at Ostravaganza, pregnant with Rosa, like, it's fine, it's so great to finally meet you. And here we are.
I know. You've come a long way, and I'm so proud of you. And I just love sharing these moments with you and seeing you soar. It's sky's the limit, and it's so exciting. We of course showed the picture with Alex. She was looking absolutely wickedly perfect.
That's my sister, guys. Isn't she gorgeous?
She is gorgeous. We had to get the guys, Quincy and Kevin from Scentmen podcast. And this was us reenacting watching the film. We had to check our phones during the movie, but we were absolutely awestruck. There's that saying that perfection doesn't exist. There's no such thing as perfect. I feel like after this movie, no one can say that anymore, because now something perfect exists in the world, and it is Wicked Part 1.
Honestly, and obviously we can't get into specifics, but the movie is a perfect adaptation of Wicked the musical. It doesn't strain too hard to do everything beat for beat the way that it was done on stage. It is its own entity, while at the same time paying homage to what exists, what we love about Wicked the musical. And if you're an Oz fan who found Oz through L. Frank Baum's novels, or the Gregory Maguire books, or the 1939 film, or Wicked the musical, there is something here you will recognize.
It's true. And we don't want you to start repeating yourself what you're about to say in the clip we're going to play of the edit of our recording, our initial reaction. Let's play that now. We'll come back and continue to talk about it afterward. Literally just hours ago, we saw a super early advanced screening confidentially for Wicked Part 1.
Wow. It was unreal.
I feel like my brain has never been so on fire before. I'm trying to relive every moment, remember every moment. We had a 2-hour commute back here to discuss things, but there's so much, and everything is right.
Everything that they changed for adaptation purposes was done so skillfully. The fact that it's set in such a fantastical setting, and yet the performances make you feel so grounded in reality because they were so authentic. Cynthia Erivo was the perfect choice for Elphaba. Ariana Grande was hilarious.
All doubt for all of the crazy stuff that we heard about casting when it was first announced will totally dissipate when people see this, because they are literally born to play these roles.
Yes.
It almost sounds cliche to say they honor the source material, but also make it their own. And it's like they do, but there's something so magical in the authenticity of who they are and what they bring to these roles that making them immortalized on screen forever in this film is just absolute exquisite perfection.
Oz has never since 1939 looked this good.
It's true.
It is better than it has looked.
It looks
in
even
85
better.
years.
It looks even better. I feel as though you and I, without being a part of this production and receiving credit in the film, it's like they read our minds and put all the Easter eggs in across the board from such rich Oz history.
That's the thing. No matter where you come from in the Oz fandom, and people come to Oz from all different avenues, whether it's L. Frank Baum's books, Gregory Maguire's novels, Wicked the musical, whatever part of the Oz fandom brought you in, there is something here for you that you will recognize. And it was so subtle. It was not, there are moments in the play where it's very in your face, but it's not like that here. It's done so skillfully, so subtly that if you blink, you will miss it. Right, Toto?
Yes. Right, Toto?
Yes.
There, I'm sorry, right in Tori's face. Sorry. Movie musicals as a genre struggle at the box office a lot, but I feel like this really broke the mold and remade it and set a new standard for crossing genres. The amount of comedy and the depth of emotion, the whole like you'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll feel it, but like also the sheer joy in the choreography and the color and
the costumes, the sets. I mean, everything was done with the utmost love. It felt like a love letter to the Oz fandom. And
to musical fans and to movie fans. I mean, the cinematic, and I can't wait to see it in 3D.
This doesn't even feel like the traditional movie musical to me, because it is so much bigger in terms of scale than any movie musical we've seen in the last decade. It is beyond.
It is beyond.
The fact that they built Oz in a practical space, it's there.
It made all the difference. There's some things that we just know logically were CGI. Chistery and the Winged Monkeys, the talking Dr. Dillerman. You know logically that's CGI, but because so much was actually built and so much is done so practically, it seems subtle. The CGI literally seems subtle. And that's an amazing achievement, again, because we've seen previous blockbuster films across studios, across genres, but big blockbuster tentpole movies that rely so much on CGI. And sometimes audiences complain or react against that. You can't do that here because you almost don't even know that you're getting special effects. They're so authentic and the magic is so tangible.
Yeah. All around, 5 out of 5 stars for me, 2 thumbs up, all of the perfection ratings.
But to go in with such high expectations, but to also go in with such high hopes and have them not only met, but surpassed. I mean, like, we'll be grateful for this as long as we live.
And it was an emotional experience. Getting to see it in the way that we did with a room full of fellow fanatic Oz fans.
Yeah. It was like seeing a live stage production. I mean, we applauded after every song.
Better because my daughter asked me this morning, so do you like the movie better or the musical better? I love them both for different reasons. And one of the things that the movie does so skillfully is fill in the blank space of the musical, because there are just some things that cannot be done on stage and your imagination fills in the blanks. But here they're able to make it a literal statement. Here they're able to fill in that blank space with the effects, with the sets. And man, did they take the medium of film and use it to the nth degree.
Seriously. And I think just lastly, like, there is no choice but to split this into 2 movies. The context that is added to not only every major plot point, but every subplot is so profound and has so much implication to metaphor of what's happening in our own lives. There's the parallel between, friendships and being changed for those that we love, and also politically and emotionally, just it's all so much more poignant that you will appreciate. I almost want more than just the 2 movies, not almost, I do.
Well, to be continued.
Yes, stay tuned. Thanks.
Well, first of all, I forgot How adorable that was.
How adorable you are. Wait a minute. I just want to say right away, watching that again made me feel what we were feeling when we walked out. You know, when you see electrifying live theater or a movie or any entertainment, you listen to a song that speaks to you and touches you so deeply that you laugh, you cry, you feel so much. It brings you alive. It energizes you. And this movie is so electrifying and so incredible. I almost feel like it's a cure for depression. It's a cure for whatever problems anyone is having. If you are, grieving, if you are facing some dire hardship, whatever it takes to get to see this movie, you will feel so much better and so much more alive. And it is spectacular.
And I'm glad you commented on the fact that it needed to be 2 films, because I just saw that pop up in the comments as well. Like, now that we've seen it, do we feel that the 2 films were warranted? And yes, so much yes. The first film does serve a full narrative and does work as a standalone movie.
Yeah.
But knowing what we know about the story and the fact that they took all of those subplots and just expanded on all of the ideas, really immersed you in the world, took the time to slow down and let you really get comfortable just in time to make you uncomfortable. It was genius. The pacing was perfect. And it needed every second of that runtime. Every second.
Right. Someone says, RJ was asking, with the extended runtime, did it feel primarily like a musical? Imagine there are like 20-minute breaks between some songs. I feel like it is not only the most successful movie musical ever made, or the successful stage to movie musical adaptation. It really works just as a film, whether it's musical or not. The songs, as best musicals are, the songs are organic. It's where characters just naturally weave in and out of the songs. And it happens so seamlessly here, as does, I referenced, the CGI. It's also, it feels subtle, and yet it's the most epic, gorgeous, detailed, eccentric film you're going to see in your lifetime so far. And it all just works. And this all comes down to the work and brilliance of one man, John M. Chu, who was born, we talk about Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo, born to play these roles, and they are. And by the way, Johnny Grande, thanks for watching. I can't believe we got Ariana's mom hanging out with us today. Thank you so much. Your daughter is flawless in this film, and we're about to share her high note, her Cheno high note at the end of No One Mourns the Wicked that they leaked from the soundtrack release today. But John M. Chu is such a visionary. When you look at a million different directors that could have done this a million different ways, and even just Defying Gravity, but each song I wanted to just rewatch again and again. Tori, we joked about how we're going to watch this movie back to back upon release. And
that was not a joke.
No, that was not a joke. And afterward, it's like, how easy would it be? I mean, there's all these different forms. There's the 3D, there's the IMAX, there's the Dolby, there's this, the other ones. And yes, to check those all out, but literally it would be so joyful to just sit and watch it on repeat.
Yeah, I really want to, when I go to see it again, I really want to watch it in standard definition again, or IMAX, because I don't want to be distracted by anything. I know what my initial, and I think it was a lovely thing about this particular experience. They take your phones for screenings like this. We did not have access to anything.
Right.
So you're in the moment. There's no distractions, unless it was the squealing from either side, because my sister was on my left and Ryan was on my right.
Yes. And that's the thing too. There's so many people screaming and the applauding. We did miss some things, but that's also the joy in going to see it again, is that you get to hear and pick up for the things you might have not have heard because somebody was laughing so loudly at Ariana Grande, who's hilarious.
Okay. So, and can we one thing I would like to comment on is their dynamic, because the fact that they are real life friends served this project so well. They didn't have to force this friendship. The chemistry was on fire. And the chemistry with Jonathan Bailey, I mean, like, all of them just worked so well together. And John Chu, as the leader, set up such a safe, warm, loving environment. Everyone who's been on the film has commented about how wonderful the set atmosphere was, how great the attitude was. It shows. It comes through clear as day. Everybody there looked happy to be there and did their best work.
Yeah. And that's just the thing, is like, I mean, like, who can have higher expectations? We all do. And I love that there are casual fans or Wicked fans or just fans of great entertainment, Ariana fans, Cynthia Erivo fans, Bridgerton fans, by the way, of Jonathan Bailey. Charlie was asking here, who is standout without giving any spoilers or proper review. I mean, here's the thing. At the point in the film where Fiyero arrives, and this is to anyone who's seen the show, so there's no spoiler here. We've already heard The Wizard and I. We've already heard No One Mourns the Wicked and What Is This Feeling? And so we're already overwhelmed and getting the chills from Elphaba and Glinda. But then we see Fiyero, and I can't say what I really want to say because it is a little bit of a reveal, but I will say that Jonathan Bailey, to be able to do what he did in that moment in the story among Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande, it's like they cast the right guy. It all works, and the right choreography and rest of it. So yeah.
Truly, Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo are the standouts because this is their story. Yeah. The cast almost functions as an ensemble cast, the way that they play off of each other, the fact that there's no one performance that could exist without the others. So they all lift each other up and bring this project to another level because of how well they all worked together. Mm-hmm. I think if I had to pick a standout aside from our leads, Bowen Yang.
Yes.
I mean, he stole every scene he was in.
And thank you. Let's talk about, just the inclusivity, because we know this with the casting. But also to outright see, LGBT representation by the way of the authenticity of Bowen Yang. There's already gender fluidity, in the costumes from the stage version where you see guys in skirts and, the mix of fashion. And I'm getting lots of thanks for the shout out on my nails. Of course, I've got the OPI Glinda the Good and Positively Elphaba. Are you wearing Positively Elphaba?
I am.
I love it. We're twinning. I love this gift pack. I got this at Ulta yesterday, along with some REM magic with her Wicked collab. And we're going to talk more about merch in a second. But yeah, there's so much to these performances that are so rich. And that's what, we look at The Wizard of Oz. And it's why after The Wizard of Oz, Judy Garland made and Ray Bolger and Margaret Hamilton and Billy Burke, all of those became so iconic. And there have been iconic stage performances, but the movie is so cinematically rich and different that you cannot really compare the two. And now that Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande have immortalized Elphaba and Glinda, you can't imagine, and it's rightly so, just the way that Judy Garland was to Dorothy. They were the right people and are the right people for the roles.
I don't believe much in fate, but this project got delayed so many times. It almost felt like the universe pushed it to this moment so that we could have this cast and this director, which sounds ridiculous. True, the vision's hazy, but I swear they really did just find the perfect mix.
Let's continue to talk about it, but we have some new updates to share, which are that, let me go back to our brand here. Yes, so how exciting that we've got lots of the soundtrack coming out. Let's take a listen to this clip. I mean, that's Ariana Grande.
Yes, correct.
And Joni, I want to say you made that happen.
I will admit, I was skeptical when I heard at first that she was cast because I didn't know anything about her. Quickly, my commenters on TikTok came into my comment section and said, oh no, she started her career on stage.
I saw her in 13 on Broadway.
And I had no idea because truly, as an elderly person, I hadn't really experienced much of her phenomenal career. But now I understand what people were so excited about, because not only does this woman have the vocal chops, like the chops, this woman is one of the most talented vocalists I have ever heard, but her acting's perfect. And, now knowing what we know about the audition process and how hard they had to work to get these roles, I mean, they could not have found better. They could not have picked anybody else to play Glinda the way that she played Glinda. And the stage Glinda, sometimes she can get unhinged depending on who's playing her. And I love that for the stage. But this was a perfectly balanced performance. She had serious moments where she was really, really low, but then her comedy was on point, and it all felt very genuine in a space of reality, very grounded. So kudos on all levels. She nailed it. nailed it. So if anybody has any residual doubts about Ariana Grande as Glinda, let them go. It's okay. She was perfect.
Oh yeah, we don't have to address it anymore. It's so strong. I almost used a naughty word, which we don't do with PG.
Not on Oz Talk. No, it's rated PG.
Ariana, I love, you know, their YouTube videos, and Ariana drops the bombs, and so does I love, you know, that. We do too, by the way, when we're not, you know, we're not working, but we are for family audiences. But I wanted to say, you know, it doesn't matter if anyone doubts her or anything about this movie, because as people see it, it's so strong. It so surpasses hopes and expectations that it speaks for itself.
It really, she surprised me beyond what I even expected, which I already had very high expectations leading up to this screening, but she surpassed my expectations. And you guys know that Glinda is a character that we all hold so dear. And she said something the day that she was cast. She said, "I will take such good care of her, I promise." Yeah. She kept her promise. Yes. I'm gonna get, and Cynthia Erivo on the flip side took Elphaba and did things with her that have never been done before. Oh, it is an interpretation I have never seen, and it is at all at once original, paying homage to Margaret Hamilton, to Idina Menzel, and all of the great witches who have come before her. But this was a standalone, Oscar-worthy performance.
Yeah. Same with Ariana. I think it's deserving of awards in every category, which is very rare for a film. It should make history for breaking records for getting more award nominations than any other film in history, in my humble Oz fan opinion. But also,
not that we're biased or anything.
Yeah, not biased at all. But it is that good. And Cynthia Erivo, all I could think, and especially there was a moment, and you'll probably know which moment I'm talking about. Sorry, watcher viewers, but like in Defying Gravity, where I just looked at Cynthia Erivo and all I could think is she's superhuman. She is, you know, has this superhuman quality, and we know that they sang vocals live, and that she was in a harness during this, and it's unbelievable. You literally, it's like a term, you lose your breath, but I actually couldn't breathe. I was holding my breath. I was so awestruck watching her in this movie. I
will never forget that moment. Yeah. And I know which moment you're talking about, and I'll never forget it. You could hear a pin drop up until that moment, at which point the room exploded with everyone going, "Oh my God, what?" Like, it was, sobbing could be heard throughout the room. It was, and I wish I could tell you more, but I can't without ruining it, so I'm not going to. But just trust me when I tell you, this Defying Gravity has never been done like this, never will be done like this again. Exactly. It is its own complete, unique experience.
How they even thought of that, how she even came up with that. The same with Popular. It goes so, I can't say, it just is perfect. And as we're talking about how great the songs are, the soundtrack, you know, we played a clip of, is now available for pre-order. Look at these gorgeous vinyls, the Target exclusives. I mean, they're making it for the collectors here. We've got the photo discs, we've got the pink and green CDs and albums from Target. You've got the regular vinyl and CD. Of course, it's going to be available to stream digitally as well, starting on the day of the official release, November 22nd. And then when we look at ticket sales, which happened today, and some theaters are already selling out. So get your tickets, especially the advanced early screenings. I love these posters we're seeing. Like, look at how gorgeous the cast ensemble poster is for the 3D version. The IMAX version is a gorgeous poster. We also have the Dolby and the D-Box. And then late coming through, the last thing I was able to upload here, that's what I was running late for, is a ScreenX one. Tori, look, I love this photo.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be an amazing in-theater experience. And, you know, we saw it on a modest-sized screen. I'm very excited to see it on an IMAX level screen with all of the very loud speakers. And, you know, this was, it's so hard to say without ruining it for everybody, but trust me, guys, you're going to be blown away. Mm-hmm. You're going to be blown away. 100% convinced. This is the best Oz film since The Wizard of Oz.
Maybe it's better. Oh, so let's talk about predicting. I just Oz has never, I mean, we've never seen it like this. And, you know, I kind of judge it all by like, where would I want to go? And I've always lived, like, nothing ever compared to that Technicolor of MGM, even the animations. And like, now I want to go, I want to go to this one. It's just we all can go there again and again, and we have part 2 to look forward to. Let's talk about merch. Let's pivot. We're both wearing favorites from the Paul Tazwell. He's the costume designer from the film. He also did The Wiz Live. He did Spielberg's West Side Story. He is a genius, and we're wearing some. This is among his unisex adult clothing line. I love yours.
Thank you. I love this one too. And they're all available at Target. I've heard some people saying that they're not finding a lot of things in Target stores. It really depends on where you live, but a lot of the collection is still available online. I missed out on the Ariana Grande cardigan, the one that she was wearing in her REM Beauty advertisement, but it was restocked. So definitely head back, grab it. It's amazing. My holiday wardrobe is covered. I'm going to be wearing these all winter long.
Oh, beyond. I got the whole adult line. I mean, except for the skirts, which I could have, let's be honest.
Absolutely. In
right?
the land of Oz, everyone's welcome here.
Yeah. Tori, I went to 4 Targets to get, to try to find these tumblers. And I finally found a very generous person at the, a colleague, not a colleague of mine, but a worker, retail manager there who was able to go back and look in the back room and pull for me the great tumblers. And they have these really great sets of journals that have stickers and bookmarks, and they're just so cute, and it's all at the dollar spot. And here's the thing about, we're saying all these good things about the movie and the merch, and I love Target for being among all of the many licensing deals and merchandising deals, for being probably the largest in the bunch. But when you advertise or say you're going to have it in store on a date, and you go to all the stores and it's not in store, that's hard.
This is a very large operation. There was clearly a rollout issue because every store had a different answer when I called to do you have the Wicked collection? I got some crickets, what the heck are you talking about? And some yeah, it'll be out on such and such date. So, be patient, guys. These folks are human too, and these things happen. So be patient. You'll get your Wicked stuff.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. Show and tell.
Show and tell. So obviously I'm wearing one of my show and tell for today. Also, the lovely folks. Do you have yours too?
I do.
The lovely folks at HarperCollins sent us the new coloring book.
Yeah.
So, spoiler warning. Some of the stuff in here is a little spoilery. So.
Yes. Some of it is spoilery, and pick out a picture that's your favorite that's not spoilery, and let's each show it. I have mine picked out. I'll go first because it's this one. And it looks like, the Broadway poster, and it also looks like the advanced ticket sale poster, which I have. Did I prep that? I know I put that up here. Yeah, here it is, which they had yesterday. That's Ariana Grande as Glinda and Cynthia Erivo as Elphaba reenacting the iconic Broadway musical poster.
Everybody's been asking, this was the question I got most often in recent memory. Why haven't we seen it? Well, they were saving the best for last. Yeah. I think mine would be the Wizard's Head. So the scenes with Jeff Goldblum,
yeah,
he was the perfect casting, like the rest of the cast, but his in particular was so delicious. Yeah. And I think I can say this. My sister said this. He is a nefarious Walt Disney in this.
Yes, she did call him that, which is true to the character. And I know going in, you had questions about whether or not they were going to transpose the songs for him, and they did not. He sings them in the original key and nails them. And we know we won't confirm or deny, but we know that Michelle Yeoh publicly said she's not a singer. But let's just say she doesn't disappoint.
No, she was wonderful, and she was subtle. You can play this. You can play Madame Morrible very over the top, and on stage she is done that way on purpose because she's reaching the cheap seats of the Gershwin Theater. But Michelle Yeoh's performance was so subtle and perfect.
Mm-hmm. It's so true. Let's do this. Let's show. This. I love this backpack.
It came.
It's all sparkly silver in the front, and I just love seeing the pair of them because we're getting a lot of separate Glinda items and Elphaba items. So I'm liking the stuff that has them together. They're represented together, pink and green on your sweater. So I'm liking the mix of the girls because it is about their friendship.
100%.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Do you have other things? I'm sure.
Oh, well,
Oh
yes,
my
I
God, wait,
do.
we've got a million things. I feel like you weren't prepared for this moment?
Honestly, I'm a little overwhelmed. What do I show first? So
No, good.
I've received all of the available Mattel dolls, and my singing Elphaba finally came. She was back ordered. And I also got the Mattel Creations Michelle Yeoh and Cynthia Erivo.
Oh, I got that too.
In their shiz box. These are super cute.
Yeah, it's cool because it's like a scene displayed in the box.
It's beautiful.
I know. I really want to see a Glinda Fierro set.
I also want to see a Bach Nessero set.
Yes.
I want all, please and thank you.
I got these.
Yes. Okay.
Monopoly and the board game. And I didn't open them yet, but I actually have found adult friends who
congratulations.
Thank you. Who are going to play these with me? Because I was like, I don't have any kids. Who's going to play these games? I need to play them, but I have some friends who are going to play these games because I have to especially check out. I mean, the Monopoly has some new rules for Wicked too, which is really cool.
So I got those as well. And I hope people will tune into my TikTok feed later because I have some big surprises coming in terms of merch.
Yes, no, it's so true. Yeah, you have some really great things. And, I was at Ulta getting a bunch of the stuff there. And I love that Ulta is doing this with their gift cards. And we know that Starbucks is also going to be having a collab coming out. And so they usually will let you grab for free if you don't want to buy a gift card, but just kind of add to your collection. Let's talk about this trailer that dropped today. That's a teaser for tickets going on sale because let's do this as our final thing today. Such an amazing, amazing breakdown. It is a mashup of several songs from Wicked and some things that we haven't seen in previous trailers.
I have an announcement. Popular. You're gonna be popular. I'll show you what shoes to wear, how to fix your hair, everything that really counts to be
dancing through life. Mindless and careless. Make sure you're awareness when you're dancing through life.
And I've just had a vision almost like a prophecy. What is this feeling? I got us tickets.
You coming?
Everyone will be there. Just you and I defying gravity. Think of what we could do together. Wicked. Rated PG. If there are no further questions, I'm gonna go.
Only in theaters November 22nd. Get tickets now.
That's Cynthia's voice, of course, at the end there. I mean, there's so much newness there.
And I'm so glad they released this when they did so I can talk about the Ruby Slipper cameo.
Yes. You caught that right away. And I mean, I saw it. All I saw was Glinda Galinda in the moment picking up red shoes, during Popular, and it's like, or preceding Popular. And it was like, oh my God, red shoes, of course. But then I think afterward, you're like, look, she clicks them together and they show her clicking them together there. I mean, those are the things. There's so many. It's like they had, it's like we had been there coming up with ideas and them just saying yes to everything and feeding us all those little Easter eggs, they're called.
Yes, and.
Yes, and.
This was such a fantastic way to announce the tickets. They did start teasing some more of the songs that hadn't been heard previously, like Dancing Through Life, like The Wizard and I, which is just such a joy because these are just incredible performances. And I cannot wait to have the soundtrack in my hand.
I know, all of it. I mean, I was already thinking, here's the thing. I think the question is, now that we've seen it, does it take away from the waiting? And no, I mean, first of all, it's the gift that keeps on giving in terms of merch and the rest of it. But like, I'm so excited, and the happiness I felt seeing it stays with me and us. And I can't wait to see it again. So it's like we know, we did an episode recently where we were, predicting what was going to be happening in Wicked Part 1, and we know what we were wrong about and what we were maybe right about. But it's like, that doesn't change. It just reinforces how great it is. I think because it's so much stronger than expected. I mean, John Chu is such an exciting, surprising director, and the details are so strong and rich, right? Like they're so good that I'm again I can just think awestruck. I don't know. I mean, what's your final thought?
My final thought is I left wishing I could see it again immediately. And that is the feeling I get every time I watch The Wizard of Oz. I left feeling gratitude to the creatives on Wicked because they did it. And they could have done it less, but they didn't. They chose to go all out. They chose to invest the time, the money, the energy, the creative power, they chose to just do this the way that they should have, which they could have slapped the Wicked name on this, put together a 1-part movie, cut a bunch of subplots and spit out an adaptation. And we all would have been okay with it because yay, Wicked. But this is Wicked done correctly.
Right. Exactly. Yes. Better than hoped for, and better than you could even imagine. And I just wish I could open up the brains of Gregory Maguire and John Chu and Stephen Schwartz and Winnie Holzman and kiss their brains and stitch them back up and say, please keep your brilliance going, because thank you so much for the gift that you're giving to the world. I'm getting emotional, which I don't do. I don't do it.
I beg to differ. I saw it.
Yeah, you did.
We were literally holding hands, crying the whole time this was going on. And, the room, they asked people to come who were genuinely like just the most passionate Oz fans. So the whole room had that energy. And we left with 2 consistent feelings among the whole group. Play it again and part 2 now, please.
Yes, part 2 now. Oh my God, I can't wait. So, Tori, thank you so much. This was really fun. Thank you so much to everybody watching Oz Talk and supporting us. Be sure and follow Tori at the Oz Log and me, please, at Ryan J Reviews on Instagram. And I'm trying to do more TikTok. Tori, you're our queen there, and I appreciate you so much. And I'm so glad we get to share this together. Thanks for being my Oz wife, honey.
Thanks for being my Oz husband. I can't wait to tell Nick. I will need another ring though, so
I'll work on that. I'll get you a pink one because you got the green one from Nick, right?
Yay! Yes.
All right. Take care.
Bye, guys.